if only Allah knows of the good that's in your heart, that is all you will need and all you will ever need.
We're living in such a time now, Isa, where knife crime has become common.
Yeah. Like, if you grew up in a good life with good family, be authentic to yourself, man. Don't try and play like you're some bad man or you come from there. And Allah gave you a better life.
Yeah. We seem to think Deen is some kind of dead lifestyle to live.
Whether they're judging me because they think I'm some dirty little rude boy G growing up in the ends, or even my own community of Muslims are judging me because, wow, this guy has tattoos, he has dogs, he has this.
The point of even throwing the word kafir or kufr on someone. Like, you're out of the fold of Islam, bro. You know that. You're no longer a Muslim. And this is not...
She didn't have a hijab on correctly. She was wearing this clothes. They don't realize that 2 weeks before, she just took her shahada. She never wore hijab before. She doesn't know the rules yet.
A lot who are leaving Islam because of this.
Yeah. Bad money. So basically, haram money, yeah, it's like it grows wings and flies away. And bro, I can't tell you how true this is. And
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Isa, Harb Salam. We're back.
We're back again.
With another episode. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. How's things?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, man.
Good.
Blessed. Nice having you come to visit. So,
Alhamdulillah.
So good.
So yeah, man. What do you want to talk about this time? Anything?
A couple of ideas. I think you said you had a couple of ideas as well.
Yeah.
I think your one kind of can segue into what I want to talk about anyway. So yeah.
Challenges. Last episode. Your challenges. What you've gone through. How these kind of things have shaped you into becoming the person you are. What was coming into my mind is, in my community, the people that I'm interacting with on a daily basis, they seem to be very attracted to a certain kind of lifestyle.
Okay.
A certain kind of lifestyle, even though they have lived very comfortable lives.
Okay.
But they still seem to be very attracted and inclined towards the ghetto lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now, when we were growing up, so I'm born in the late 90s, we would idolize naturally because of the surroundings that we had. Even though some of us, like I said, especially in my own hometown, even though we were brought up in a very quote-unquote Islamic environment, and we were around a lot of Muslim brothers and Islam and Deen, because of the films, because of movies, because of the music industry, we looked up to certain figures. So the likes of, for example, Tupac, we looked up to Biggie, we looked up to the likes of The Game. A lot of people now who are watching, a lot of the younger generation now that are watching, they probably heard of the names, but they don't know much about them.
Yes.
Then we have and at that time, I would say in the UK wasn't as popular in terms of the music industry as America was back then. This is according to what I've grown up to see. But then when we spoke about in the last video about the challenges that you went through, even though on your channel you've spoken about a lot of it, and again I would urge each and every single one of you to visit Harb Salam's channel, Isa's channel, and listen attentively to everything that he's spoken about. You've grown up in the slums of the UK. Right? You've grown up in the ghetto. Now, till now, I'm seeing in our community, especially in the north, I'm seeing a lot of this rise of these things being idolized. So TV series, so for example, Top Boy. It's and correct me if I'm wrong with this, Top Boy is very realistic. It's very real, close to reality in terms of the life.
The originals. The last season, maybe not so much, but all the beginning, just maybe the last season, it kind of went a bit far-fetched, but for the most part,
So what it is I'm looking at it from my point of view, is that my parents have tried their utmost best to make sure that I grow up and to be a certain way. They've provided me with as much comfort as they possibly can give me.
Yeah.
I've always had food on the table. I've always had my clothes ironed. I've always had my clothes washed. I've always been given the quote unquote luxuries of life.
Yeah.
And yet I am seeing a lot of our young ones inclined towards gang violence, and inclining towards drugs, alcohol, postcode wars, and now we're living in such a time now, Isa, where knife crime has become common.
Yeah.
Like even when we were growing up, if we wanted to settle something, we would use our hands to settle something. Now the first thing people do is they'll pull out a knife and slash you and stab you. So my question is, Isa, from your experience, you did whatever you did.
Yeah.
And you'll never justify the wrong that you did.
No.
But you'll always mention what made you become like that.
100%.
But then it was your surroundings and your circumstances that shaped you or that forced you to kind of.
You do the best.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you do. You do the best at that time with what you've got, the tools that you've got, what you've been teaching. But before I go into that, to go back to what you just said, you made two really good points that triggered something. First, you said, I spoke about things a lot on my channel, and you said for people to listen, and you were talking about Top Boy, people listening and watching. Sometimes I think this is the problem. Obviously, before I became Muslim, I grew up listening to music before I stopped listening to traditional music, hip hop, everything. And there's a lyric that Jay-Z says, do you people listen to music or do you just skim through it? Yeah? If you listen to what I'm talking about with the right ears, all you're going to hear is struggle and pain. If you watch Top Boy, which is an amazing show, you will see the struggle and pain. But people don't watch it with the right, they only think about the glorified things of, oh, how cool is it to be running around, getting shot at and nearly getting stabbed and selling drugs and doing all of these aspects, because the fear factor isn't there for them. They're watching on TV something that looks cool because they're not living it. When you live that life, I can't remember probably anyone from my ends that just wanted to stay in the ends. And maybe you get the odd one guy that can't see himself doing anything else than being a G. It's very rare. Majority of people, all we ever wanted was to get out. We wanted to make enough money that we don't need to live in the ends, or enough money to look after our mum or our family, not to be nearly getting robbed every day. People trying to shoot you, trying to stab you. Every time you come outside your house, police are swarming on you. Other people are swarming on you. You're literally living in a hostile situation all of the time. Do you know what I'm saying? I think in one of my songs, I say, look into my eyes, you'll see the stain of pain. My heart is aching, the pain is breathtaking. I'm so tired, fam, always gotta be the man. Do you know what I'm saying? This is how you feel. You're always having to live up to this, because otherwise you're a mark. So like a dog, when you get backed into a corner, you get this resilience, this rawness, and you're continuously, you don't know when you're living it, but you're continuously in hostile trauma situations. You know, we would maybe meet up, say, like, I remember there used to be a hangout in Wandsworth. Everybody used to meet up outside the McDonald's. I'm talking, you're 13, 14 years old. You're there, you're watching fights. I remember seeing a girl smashing another head's girl against the floor, and everyone's just cheering and getting involved. You're running and getting a beef here, there. You don't realize that you're in a traumatic situation, that you're going to have PTSD from any of these things. This is just what you know. You're making sure if you go to the shop, you get all your stuff, you pull it in your bag, and you pull it under your coat so no one's trying to rob you. Like, you're constantly thinking in these ways, so you're constantly under attack. And it's only when you get older and you manage to come out of the situation that now I can look back, or if I tell the story to other people and they look at me in disbelief of all the things that used to happen to me, how many times I nearly got shot, how many times people tried to stab me, how many times every time I come out my house I've got to worry about what beef I'm going to get into, or if the police are going to hassle me and pressure me even if I'm not doing anything. When you get older, you go back, you tell story, and you tell the story to people and they're looking at you and their face is so amazed in shock. And then you see, I remember I went to drama school to do my master's, and I did a rap just about parts of my life. There was about 50 people in the room. I was saying it was casual to me because I lived it. Literally every single one of them people had tears in their eyes by the time I was finished. That then made me tear up. I was like, why are these people crying? As I'm rapping, I'm thinking like, why are these people crying? When I realized the realness of how it affected people, what I had been through, and I allowed that to touch me, then I suddenly become emotional. But when you're living a life, you don't realize how much trauma you're under, until you see it from another perspective. These people are trying to follow in this way and be like the life that me or my cousin or what we lived. They're not seeing it from our real point of view. They're not seeing the pain, the trauma, the stress of it. They're not seeing none of that. They're just thinking, oh, it looks cool running around. Someone's trying to shoot you, you shoot back at them, or selling drugs and making loads of money, or, you know, this seems cool to them. We never did these things was cool. We didn't want to be cool, but it wasn't even that. You got no money, you can't get a job because you're from these ends. They look at you like you're low life because whether you're black or working class or whatever it may be, they don't want to give you a proper job. The only people you can look up into the end that have anything going for them is the elders that are being drug dealers or they know how to defend themselves or whatever at the time. So you naturally have no other choice. You have to defend yourself in them areas, and you want to survive, so you want to make money. You see your mum struggling, or, you know, she's on council benefits and she hasn't got what she needs, and you know, you got the dusty trainers, you're getting beaten up or cussed at school for having dusty trainers. You need money. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to copy what the other people are doing. None of that was fun. That was just pain, bro. It was pure pain. But you're living it. You don't know your life any other way. So you don't realize how much pain you're in until the noise quiets down. When the noise quietens down, and you can sit in your own silence, like when I moved away from London and I brought my family up to these like countryside ends, and I would sit in the quiet.
Yeah.
That's when I realized how much trauma had happened to me from being young, all the things that I went through, how I react to situations. Someone says something to me, how quick I am to snap and back my talk, because in the end, if someone did that to me and I didn't back my talk, then I'd be prey. I got to be the predator, not prey.
Yeah.
All of these things you don't realize, bro. And so these people, and what I'd say to the youngers out there that are not from these areas, that don't have to live them lives, that got parents that will look after them, give them money, they've got career opportunities, all them things. It might look cool because you're listening to it and just skimming through it. You're watching it and not really taking on what they're talking about. In Top Boy, there's a point right at the end where they're having a conversation, and he's, I can't remember the exact wordings, but he's saying that Sully says they always would have seen us like that. We're just like animals to them.
Yeah.
So either we're going to be prey or we're going to be the predators. We had no other choice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? People, they're not listening to these lines and understanding them because they haven't lived through it. Do you know what I'm saying? They haven't lived through that pain or that fear of every time you step outside your house, something bad's going to happen to you. Every time I come outside my house, every time my cousin came outside his house, we always was prepared for something to happen. There used to be fights every day. Something, bro, I could be standing there, someone come up to me and say, oh, such and such just got stabbed. Oh, is it? And someone else will come, yeah, man, I just saw my man get beat up over there. Oh, blah, blah's grandma just died. Oh, da. We were so used to it. After that conversation, we're like, all right, what, do you want to go to McDonald's? Yeah, all right, bro. Like, there was no, it became, every day was so hostile that we was used to it. We didn't even realize at that point. But we also didn't realize the fear and the mental trauma that we're going through. Now I see lots of people my age with who are mentally ill, bro. Mentally, they don't know how to cope with life because of what they went through when they was young. So what I'd say to these youngers out here is it might look all cool, and because you don't know, you're coming from a place of something different. You've had everything handed to you. Enjoy that. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All me and my people ever wanted was to have stuff handed to us,
Yeah.
and to get away from the ends, to get away from them pains. You know, if I can have more money and get my kids out, that's what I'm going to do. I don't want them growing up in that situation. If I don't have to go through fear every day, I don't want to go in that situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So why are you guys playing into this thing and jumping on this thing and then getting yourself stuck into a life of pain and hardship because a TV program to you made it look cool?
Yeah.
But personally, when I watch that TV program, I just see pain and hardship. I don't see it being cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I lived it.
Yeah.
They don't see that side. They're not hearing that side because they don't know what fear and pain is. They've never had fear or pain because they come from a good life. So when they watch the programs or listen to the songs, they only choose the things that sound fun and good out of it. They're not really realizing the pain of it because they haven't experienced it. So how can you understand pain if you've not experienced pain?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like I've noticed, like, even when it comes to the Deen side of it, I think we try our utmost best. Especially, I've experienced this myself because, as you know, with the nature of my work, there's I have a lot of interaction with the younger people now. And I've seen sometimes when we give certain students or certain young ones the opportunity to be able to take something, watch something which is connected to the Deen.
Yeah.
So, for example, you've got a scholar who's a traditional scholar, a proper scholar who's speaking about Islam, and then you have someone like a speaker, for example, who's been through similar. So, Akhi Ayman, for example, right? He's someone now that is watched quite thoroughly. And when I ask the students, why would you, for example, let's just say Mufti Menk, he's watched quite a lot. So you got Mufti Menk on one side, and you have Akhi Ayman on the other side. Even now, young born Muslims would rather watch Akhi Ayman speak as opposed to watching Mufti Menk speak. And when I discuss this with them, I'm like, why would you rather listen to Akhi Ayman? Oh, because he's been through stuff and he's speaking. But then at the same time, from the conversations I have with them, I seem to be getting the gist of, but I want to know what he's done. Like, I want to know what he's done in his era of ignorance, of Jahiliyyah, because that fascinates me and it motivates me. But then I think to myself, are you just watching him speak? Coming back to what you said, or are you listening to him speak? You're
cherry picking what sounds good out of it and not really listening to the hardship of it. Because, like I said, they can't identify with the hardship of it because they haven't been through it.
Exactly. But I can understand, like, for example, one of the main reasons and one of the main purposes behind the channel that you have made and the nasheeds that you have been doing is not only to try and have a positive impact in people's lives, but your audience is of a specific category. Right?
Kind of like what you just said, the people, they don't want to listen to this, to Mufti Menk, but they're willing to listen to...
Because I've also seen the other aspect of it, where someone who's genuinely lived a life, and this is those who have genuinely gone through circumstances like yours, the Akhi Ayman or yourself would be more appealing to them as opposed to even someone like me.
100%.
Because, in their minds, me, because I dress a certain way as well. So if I have cultural clothing on, if I have a thobe on, they might see me very differently. But then it also gets a bit confusing because Akhi Ayman now, for example, you'll see him wear a thobe. And he'll give a speech. But because it's Akhi Ayman speaking,
it's because...
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I mean, I can only say it from my... perspective of how I see it, because I can't talk for,
how do you see it?
I can't talk for these kids that have grown up in decent situations and why they would want more to see someone like know everything about my lifestyle, for instance. But I know for me, when I'm watching stuff, seeing what I call mandem, like who've been through my situation, especially when I was a kid, I know they can connect with what I've been through. So when they're talking, I can see myself in them. I can go, wow, I've been through that and he's been through that, but look how far where he's made it. So, because think about it, when I grew up, there wasn't many, so my father was Jamaican, I grew up in, most of my people around me are black, but I had white friends that are working class as well around, but most of them was black. We never had black male leaders in any form that you could look up to on TV, right? You might have Eddie Murphy being funny, and you might have the odd sports person, but there was nothing showing us what we could be as young black men. So, whereas with the white kids, they could see every type of job they would look up to. Every TV program had all these white people, president, the king, the queen. They had this positive thing they could look up to be. When I'm looking at something, I can't see no one that's grown up like me that's doing anything positive at my age when I was growing up. So if I would have seen like we get to see now, where someone is doing something very positive, but he grew up like me, but now, I don't know, he's rich and he's living a good life and I can look at that person, or you don't even have to be rich, you're just living a good life. I can look at him and say, I could be that. So I understand why someone growing up like me would look up to that life, because he grew in the ends like me. Mufti Menk can't talk.
Of course,
in my head, if someone, no disrespect, I don't know if Mufti Menk grew up in a silver spoon, but if someone grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth, of course you made it. That's how my brain would have thought when I was young. But you grew up in the streets, and now you're DMX, and now you've made it, and you're here, and okay, I could. There's a blueprint I could follow in that blueprint. But for the kids that are growing up more like yourself grew up, and trying to jump on it. I can understand the interest in it. And if you're going to use it in a way to say, I'm not going to do this. And if these men can go through all this hardship and I can make it, then I definitely can make it because I had a head start. But if you're looking at it like you want to jump into that lifestyle and it all looks great, then you're not listening, bro. You're not listening to the stories. You're not, you know, I try to put in my work. This is what I've been through, so they get to see that. But I never like things to be ending in a depressive way. So I also try to say, but this is where I am now. Like, I came out of that, and there can be success after that. So people like me can listen to it and understand. And people who are not like me, who need to understand people like me, to realize not to treat us like a lot often me and my cousins will be treated like they're ghetto and they're just real boys and they don't know nothing. They're not intelligent. No, I'm very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? You ain't talking to me because you hear me say, yo, blood, what you saying, fam? Blah, 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 blah. You think I'm not intelligent. Only if I'm talking like this, then you think I'm intelligent. It doesn't make sense, bro. Yeah. My brain is still my brain. My heart is still my heart. But when I can show you what we went through, and this is why we're coarse like this is why we're hard like this, then you might understand me better and understand people like me better. That's my aim. My aim ain't to make you live my life. I'm trying to make you stay away from what I had to go to. I'm trying to live like you.
And at the same time, you're not trying to portray yourself as some ex-gangster or
no,
you know, the word gangster as well. It's taken out of context because everyone wants to be a gangster nowadays.
Yeah, bro.
Everyone wants to be a gangster
Bro,
nowadays.
we never thought we was gangsters. Bro, we was with our friends. You're with your friend and you've got a group. If you got in trouble by the police or something, the police would say there was a gang of youths and they're from this gang. No, bro, for us, that's my friend. That's my friend. I protect him. He protects him. We're all surviving this horrible concrete jungle together.
Yeah.
And just the same as you have all your friends in your circle, the same thing we have our friends in our circle. But because people are prejudiced, they look at us like we're a gang of this or a gang of this. No, we're just friends who have grown up in a society where we're poor, we're struggling, we haven't got much for us, and we're having to do madnesses to survive. But that's it. We have the same friendship and love, maybe even more than people on the outside. We care for the old people walking down the street in our community. We respect all the aunties and the grandmas and we ain't no gangsters.
Yeah.
We was kids trying to survive. We're young men trying to survive. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. But people yell at, it sells in songs, innit? People playing like, yeah, I'm a G and it sells.
Yeah.
But when you really find the man them that grew up, you look at someone like Giggs. I don't hear Giggs talking about how he was a gangster and He might be talking about gun crime and things that he'd lived but I've never heard him trying to portray himself like he's some big bad boy gangster. Yeah. Even though he's a G. But G's don't call themselves G's in that same way, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you went through what you went through because you had to. You didn't even choose that life most of the time. The life chose you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's just silly that people look at it like that. And most of us that have gone in that, you know, if you ask us, we're not going to say we're some gangsters.
Yeah.
You know?
And I also feel like Deen has an Islam, like we were speaking in our last video, or even previously in conversations that we've had, how Islam has now become very cultural. And people, subconsciously, they don't say it, but the way, sometimes when I'm having conversations about Deen, the impression that I get, and I'm not someone who judges anybody for what's in their heart, because that's not what we're supposed to do. But going off of the external, we seem to think Deen is some kind of dead lifestyle to live. So my thing is now, Isa, how would you say, how much of an impact has Islam and Deen had in your life? Because you're already being shaped as it is, but then as soon as Deen comes into your life, and when you practically start implementing these things, because the difference between, say, for example, even my generation, is our elders, we always felt like we could never relate to them. Because they were first generation that came into this country, and we always had the gap where we always felt like they don't understand.
Well, I mean, they lived a different life for you as well. They never grew up in Britain, so
exactly. But now we have people in positions, alhamdulillah, even in some schools, where the person who's your go-to, he's from this country, He's been to school in this country. He understands the culture of this country. He speaks, but some of us still can't relate.
I think so. How you started the question was how it affected me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how important is it to understand that if someone, like myself, for example, if we're having a conversation about Deen and we want the best for somebody else, we're saying it from a place of, I might not have been a gangster, like you may have expected me to be, or I might not be a gangster in terms of what you look at on the screen, but I have lived more life than you have. I have more life experience than you have. Living in this country, being born in this country, understanding the culture of this country. So for you to take on my advice is beneficial for you. So, and you're a prime example of it. When you've taken advice, practical advice, and you've begun to implement that in your life, how much of an impact has that had on you?
100%. This is the thing. Like I said, if I've grown up in a situation where everything's hostile and hard, and I'm looking for answers, as a youngster, I'm looking for answers, and I see someone like yourself, or even just Islam as a whole, people who live in Islam, if they're living it the right way, and I see they have a certain salam, a certain peace within them, they have something bigger than themselves that they're living up to, and it gives them a focus, Whether or not you grew up on the streets or whatever, if I can sometimes or somehow steal that knowledge from you and use that knowledge for myself to get to that same place, then whether you was on the street or not should be irrelevant to me. Sadly, it's not always the relevance to people, but really, I should be trying to get that knowledge. I implore everybody, steal every bit of knowledge you can. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because God saved my life. Slowly, chapter by chapter. But when he gave me Islam, I honestly think if I didn't have Islam, I wouldn't be where I am here today. I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be as balanced as I am. I wouldn't have been able to get out of all the hardships that I was in, or the mentality that I had to survive at that point. All that Allah has shown me has pulled me away from that and lifted me up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I couldn't have got that if I didn't gain knowledge from people that hadn't grown like me. You know, the first people that I did interact with, they was Muslims that kind of had more of an understanding of me. They'd grown in my area and these kind of things. But I realized very quickly that, you know, they say the definition of madness, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If I don't want to live this life, then I should learn from people who haven't had to live this life, or if they had lived this life, they're out of it now, like they've made changes. I need to learn from anyone that can give me what I don't have and they have it. If I want to be rich, then I should talk to a rich man. If I want to have peace, then I should talk to a man that has peace. So as long as that man that's teaching me Islam is following what he's talking, I can learn from him. If he's just talking Islam at me, but there's nothing within his actions that I see has any benefit to me, then, you know, why should I take that on board? Do you get what I'm saying? But Islam has impacted me a lot. Islam has gave me all the tools through what the Prophet ﷺ has come and through what Allah shows me to pull myself out of that life. I'll just give a couple of examples, First and foremost, when you love Allah, you start to love what Allah loves. And when you do the actions of trying to please Allah, eventually bad habits that you have that are not good, you don't want them anymore because you love Allah so much that you start to not want to do them things. And so it pulls you out of circles that are bad. It pulls you out of thought process and habits that are bad. Do you know what I'm saying? And gets you away from them situations. Secondly, many times people are going to judge you and mistreat you because of where you came from or who you are or these things. But one of mine and my wife's favorite quote is, if only Allah knows of the good that's in your heart, that is all you will need and all you will ever need. You don't understand how much warmth, bro, that has brought to me in times when people are judging me on both sides. Whether they're judging me because they think I'm some dirty little rude boy G growing up in the ends, or even my own community of Muslims are judging me because, wow, this guy has tattoos, he has dogs, he has this, this kind of thing. I know Allah knows what I'm doing and Allah knows who I am, and this gives me the comfort. So these is where I might, maybe normally I could have lost my temper or I could have stayed in that bad habit or whatever, because I really love Allah and I hope to think I understand his teachings. It brings me out of that. I'm not going to stick with the habit, even though they're trying to make me feel like I should keep that bad habit.
Yeah,
because they're judging me. No, I'm not going to go like that. And then the bad habits I have of to lose my temper. What these people in my community are starting on me, and they're not even, what they're saying don't even come from knowledge. It comes from culture.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to talk bad to them. I'm gonna. All of these things save me. Islam saved me. Otherwise, I could very much just be the same person I was. Don't get it wrong. You can take the person out the street. You can't take the street out of the person. There is things that I have to fight on a regular basis to keep. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because bro, I think you as mashallah, someone who reverted, if you just looked at Islam based off of how people are through people's actions,
I never would have been Muslim. Never would have been Muslim.
You would have gone a long time.
Yeah, never.
But alhamdulillah, that's why they say Islam is perfect. Muslims aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And some of them, they don't do things, a lot of them actually, they don't mean to do things negatively. They come from a good place. It's just the way they say it just throws a person off completely. That's why one of the things that Allah mentions in the Quran is ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal maw'izati al hasana, that call people towards the path of God with wisdom and with beautiful speech, in a very nice manner. So I could say something to you. It's the way I say it is what makes a difference.
And what you just said there. Hear what you just said. You said wisdom. See, lots of people have knowledge, what they don't understand. Right? You get knowledge first, then you get understanding of that knowledge, and then when you put it into practice, you get wisdom. But I believe to these people. One second, let me finish the thought.
Yeah.
So these people, they will say things to you because they know the knowledge of it, but they don't have any understanding of what they're really saying, and they don't have the wisdom of when you use that and when you don't. So if they're directing this at you, maybe it comes from a good place, or sometimes it's shaitan telling them to say something because they know it's going to knock someone off a path, and they're following in that.
Yeah.
But if I make suggestions to you, I should be suggesting them for me understanding them and knowing how to put them into place myself also.
Yes.
So that I'm doing it at the right time in the right way.
Yeah. But knowledge to me, ilm and knowledge to me is that which you have been made aware of, but then you've applied wisdom to it. If you've not applied wisdom to what you have learnt, that's just information.
Yeah.
That's just information.
And to me, exactly, it's just knowledge for knowledge's sake.
Yeah.
And let me clear that up just so the viewers understand more kind of where we're going with this. I'm gonna make an example, yeah. So I think where we're heading and what we're kind of talking about is like, so for instance, I said I have tattoos, right? So I might release a nasheed, right?
Yeah.
And in that nasheed, you can see that I've got tattoos, right? People will immediately start trolling. Oh, you're haram, brother. You got tattoos, and how can you let?
And you've done a disclaimer as well.
And I've done a disclaimer saying, that I don't believe in tattoos and putting what the Prophet said about tattoos. But they listen, but they just skim through it. Yeah, they don't see it, right? Now, first and foremost, or dogs or anything in the thing, first and foremost, as Muslims, we should be looking. What's the saying? Make 70 excuses for your believing brother and sister, right?
Yes.
So I should assume, you should assume, when you're seeing me, you should assume this brother's a revert. He had tattoos beforehand, not just assume that I've sinned. If I see a Muslim going into a pub, I look at them and think they're using the toilet.
Yeah.
I don't think they're an alcoholic and they're going to drink.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the issue is people start, commenting and trolling on things like this, or they might comment at the fact that I have dogs and say, oh, it's haram. You clearly haven't studied the knowledge, and you clearly don't understand. Having dogs is not haram. There's specifications of having a dog. Not having a dog for frivolous reasons. Using a dog whether you're hunting, guarding, whether you're blind, deaf, and you've got a dog for these purposes. So when you're having these attacks on people, and you're thinking that you're enjoining good, but really you're attacking them. Sometimes maybe they're just doing it just to attack. Some people are just trolls, let's be honest, right? Yeah. But I'm very thick-skinned, and I'm very hard-headed. So it doesn't affect me like that. Yeah, I'm very logical thinking. But I've seen a lot of reverts, yeah, and this is a point that we really need to make, that when these people are thinking that they're enjoining good on them, and like you said, they're saying it in a certain way, they've pushed these people away from Deen. These people are trying to make a difference by doing something, yeah, or if they've released some type of video. Let's just say if it was myself and I was soft, I wasn't so hard-headed, and I've released this nasheed and I'm trying to teach people in this nasheed a very positive thing. And before that, let's say before, I was making haram music and talking about haram actions, and I was living and selling drugs and doing all of this, and all of a sudden I changed my life and I'm making music with vocals and beatboxing, and I'm only talking about positive things and talking about Allah and pushing people in the right direction. And now you come along and you start saying to me all this trolling and attacking me, and oh, you got title and you got this, and I'm not a hard-headed person, or I don't understand my deen. You know, if I hadn't studied as much and know that Allah, my relationships with Allah, not with you, what could happen to me? You could take me fully away from that. You could stop the good work I'm doing. You could stop the good path that I'm on. I've seen things when there's been women and they've gone to an event and they're wearing, you know, a scarf, but it's not covering their hair properly, and their clothes is maybe a bit tight and da-da-da-da. But that's a new Muslim. And people would be, oh, you see that girl in the video and they're slagging off, she didn't have her hijab on correctly, she was wearing this clothes. They don't realise that 2 weeks before she just took her shahada. She'd never wore hijab before. She doesn't know the rules yet. And now you lot are attacking her and not even saying it in a positive way, like, oh, sister, did you know that you need to cover this part of it? Instead of that, it's like, oh, you're haram, you're doing it. Now that sister now is thinking, these Muslims are crazy. Why am I going to be part of this? They're not showing me love. They're not showing me understanding. So then you do that and you push these people out of the deen.
And that doesn't mean, just to make it clear as well, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't convey the message.
No, 100%.
Because it's a duty of every Muslim.
Yeah.
If you see a violation of the law of Allah taking place, you can always go and have a conversation with them.
Enjoying good and forbid evil.
Yes.
But know what you're talking about.
Yeah, know what you're talking about.
Don't say to me that it's haram for me to have dogs when you don't realise that it's not haram for me to have dogs.
Or if you believe, or if I believe, for example, that it's haram to have dogs, I can have a conversation with you about it.
Exactly.
The problem is we don't sit and conversate.
Yes,
we assume.
Brother, can I private message you, please? Yeah. And then we have a conversation.
That's it.
You start, attacking someone on something.
We go to the point of even throwing the word kafir or kufr on someone. Like, you're out of the fold of Islam, bro. You know that. You're no longer a Muslim. And this is not, now, Isa, right? This has not just become an issue for reverts only. This has also become an issue or a struggle for the born Muslim who his entire life or her entire life, she's born in a Muslim family. And she's genuinely struggling to follow the deen for whatever reason. And now even that person now slowly is trying to come onto the deen. She's getting blasted. He's getting blasted. He's walked into the masjid with like a chain on, with like a earring on and whatever, and boom, that's it. Someone will come and somebody has to say something. Right? And it's very unfortunate because we don't know our own end state. Umar radiallahu anhu, we speak about Umar in the last video. Umar radiallahu anhu, till the end of his life, even though he was promised Jannah, he was number 2 in rank of the 10 promised who were guaranteed Jannah. We believe all the companions Allah was pleased with and they were pleased with Allah. But even the likes of Umar radiallahu anhu, till the end of his life, he asked his son, he goes, place my face on the floor. Right? Because I want to seek forgiveness from Allah for because I fear. And this is the definition of iman and faith. There's having hope on one side and then but having the fear at the same time. But it just comes again. We might say something that can totally throw somebody off. And completely kill the person's morale. And I've had discussions with other reverts as well that I'm speaking to right now, where the word disbeliever, the word deviated, you're wrong for doing this, you're wrong for doing this. But the guy is learning.
100%.
Right? Until you don't sit down and have a conversation with him and build that relationship with him, you're never going to get anywhere.
Bro, you've got to be careful.
And this is why we need to understand, Isa, that as many people as there are coming into Islam, there are a lot who are leaving Islam because of this.
Yeah, but not because of Islam, because of
Because of this
us
issue.
as a human.
Because of us, not because of Islam. They're actually leaving the fold of Islam as well. There's a lot now, unfortunately, they live like Muslims. Or externally, internally, God isn't there. And this is the truth.
That's the problem right there. So many Muslims are living culturally and not living, you know, they ain't even studying the Deen. Like I'm saying, sometimes people will comment, and I've studied enough to know that when you're commenting, what you're commenting is wrong. And you're making permissible what's impermissible, and you're making impermissible what's permissible, which is a sin. So you're here attacking something, and at that time, you're the one sinning, not the person you're attacking, if what you're saying, knowledge, is not even right in the first place, If you're really concerned for a person, if I see someone doing something wrong, and I feel the need that I need to tell them, I tell them, but I tell them in a different way. Do you know what I'm saying? I will communicate them. I'll try and do it in private, or if I can't get the access to them, I'll try and do it in a very polite way. Even when people have tried to speak to me, I'm sure you've read some of my comments before and stuff. I will be calm and break them down with knowledge and explain it to them. I won't lose my temper. I won't waste my time. Unless I see they're just a proper troll, then I won't even answer them. But if they really genuinely are asking something and they really are confused, or really they believe, because they learned from their mum and dad culturally that this is what is allowed in Islam, not realizing the knowledge, I will teach them the knowledge of it and see where we get with that. But it's a real touchy subject, because we have to check ourselves. All of us have to make sure that when we see these things and we want to enjoy good, that shaitan is not able to get in. Because shaitan will make you do something that you think is good and really is bad. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he'll tell you like you're doing something good and really you're doing something bad. So we have to be very careful of what our intention is when we're trying to show this person. Do we really know what we're talking about when we say it as well? If you think it's wrong, go and study first, look it up. What I was thinking was correct, then tell the person. Don't just jump in and start writing. And to be more patient with each other. We're all at different levels of our Deen, So, for instance, I bring it back to what I was saying about the nasheeds, right? I am an honest, true believer right now that there is so much entertainment out there that is just satanic agenda, trying to teach us bad things, right? And we're having Muslims starting to step up at the moment, trying to make halal entertainment, Muslims and non-Muslims at this moment, you know, are listening to and watching things that are not halal and teaching them bad things because they have no other alternatives. It'd be very easy to say, oh, well, our Muslims should just not have to listen to anything and shouldn't entertain themselves in that way and just sit there and read Quran. But it's not practical.
Because we've got to be practical about it.
You've got to be practical.
The ground reality is different.
Humans, not everyone can do that. I know some humans that won't even watch TV. Alhamdulillah, praise, may Allah, praise be to Allah. He's made these people like that. But he's also gave people personality where sometimes they need to watch entertainment, or sometimes I'm having people commenting on something. A Muslim will be commenting on other Muslims, yet this Muslim's commenting saying, bro, you're doing the nasheeds with beatboxing, the vocals that you're saying with your mouth, it sounds similar to an instrument, you shouldn't be doing that. And this same brother is watching Game of Thrones on TV with non-halal music and people being naked on the screen, and he's not commenting to them, or he's listening to Snoop Dogg and he's not saying, yo, Snoop Dogg, your things is haram. He's only commenting on his Muslims who are actually doing something that's not even haram. It's just it's an opinion that you're like, oh, he's making vocal beatboxing
because it sounds a certain
because it sounds like an instrument. You know, there's an argument for these things, but we won't go into them. So it's like, then you stop this guy making entertainment, or someone who's making a film or whatever he's doing that actually can pull our youth. As I bring the circle to the beginning, how can we help our youths and people that fall into bad? If they have more options, they have halal versions. I say I create hip hop without compromise on Deen. You like hip hop and you can listen to someone like myself without compromising your Deen. Surely something that's teaching you good and positive about Allah, that's going to help keep you away from listening to Cardi B or whoever's out there talking all of this craziness. Do you get what I'm saying? Or they're making films and entertainment that our youths and our adults can watch without falling into sin. Surely that's better. But if you're going to start trolling these people and attacking these people, you're going to stop them from making that. And like I said at the beginning, I honestly think all this agenda right now, there's so much satanic agenda that I think for every force, there's an opposite force. If you've got this amount of bad, you need to have that amount of good or more if possible. So our entertainers, our Muslim brothers and sisters should be making entertainment, halal entertainment, that can not only affect Muslims, but affect non-Muslims as well, so that they don't have to listen to that stuff. Let's say I made a song and it played on a radio station, yeah? And people will be like, oh, bro, but the radio station isn't happened. This is hypothetical, yeah? The radio station's playing music. It's not halal. Yeah, cool. But if my song played for 5 minutes and it was a halal song, yeah, on that radio station that's playing non-halal music, yeah, and someone listened to that song for 5 minutes of their day, had stopped listening to haram stuff, 5 minutes of their day, they're hearing the mention of Allah, 5 minutes of their day, they're thinking maybe I should fix up my life and do something better with myself. Surely is that not better than, do you get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong, you know, you can tell us in the comments, but it's how my brain thinks, you know?
Or a lot of people, they're just like, oh, this guy's just acting like a gangster, or he's just acting like this, he's trying to be a certain way. But if they don't know you, they can't judge that.
And sometimes there is people out there acting.
But
this is why it's very hard. People like myself, so when we grew up, I can see fakeness. I can see your mark in it. Like, bruv, don't pretend. I can't pay attention to you, yeah, when I can see your fake. So you're trying to play like a bad man and you're trying to teach something. Yeah. I can't pay attention to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? But people like me or my cousin or something, we would see you as a mark. Other people might not be able to see that person's fake, but there's just something that'd be off about that person. There's no authenticity because they're not real. But there is sadly people out there pretending they live my life and trying to use that to push their agenda forward. But I think everyone should just be who they are.
It's very important, bro.
Authenticity is the best thing.
One of the things you mentioned, and another occasion Khalid mentioned, and one of the first, when I first started speaking to him, he says, look, because I said, look, I'm new into this imamship now. Give me some advice in it based on your...
Our brother Khalid.
Our brother Khalid.
Yeah, so a very close friend to us. Khalid,
very special person. Inshallah, we're hoping, Khalid, if you're watching this, inshallah, you join us one day.
Yeah, inshallah. May Allah make it so.
Inshallah. I mean, but one of the things that he says, and it stuck with me, is be genuine and authentic to yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
As long as you do that, people will relate to you.
Yes.
Especially the young ones, they will vibe with you.
100%.
Because now, like you said, a lot of people can see right through you as well. Especially if you're, like you said, if you've gone through what you've gone through. Because we live in such a fake world now. Everybody wants to act like someone they're not.
The reason why I say the word mark is because that person would be the person that would have got robbed in the ends or something. Like they're coming out pretending they're hard and then they're flashing this cat or they're acting. And straight away, the real man then will be looking at them like, you're not, bruv. That's not what you are. Let's not pretend. And now that person's beaten up and robbed and now on the floor because they was pretending. But a person could come in who wasn't acting and could be soft. Maybe they wasn't hard. No one would touch them because they wasn't pretending to be something. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you've set yourself up. You know, going back to what we were just saying, there was a test and they tested people's energy, and people's emotion, because emotion is energy. For people who don't realize, emotion is energy in motion, And they was testing different emotions and energy levels that come out of people. And you know, they used to use ECGs, they used to put on people's heads. Now they can test, we're so powerful as human beings, our energy level comes out far. So they can test from over a meter away. And they was testing people for their different emotions and energy. And then they asked people, what did you think was the highest kinetic energy that was, produced, the highest powerful energy? And people always said love, because love's very powerful. But in fact, they was like, no, in fact, the highest, and it's like, something like, I can't even remember the exact number, so don't quote me on it, but like 10 times more than love was authenticity. When someone was being authentic and was being truthful, that energy is the most powerful energy out of all the things that they tested. So if you going all the way back in full circle to what you were saying, if you grew up in a good life with good family, be authentic to yourself, man. Don't try and play like you're some bad man or you come from there. And Allah gave you a better life. Why are you trying to take the life of someone that's going through hardship and struggle? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. We wanted the life that you got, and you're trying to get our life. Like it doesn't, it just doesn't make sense.
Maybe you say, let me play devil's advocate here. I don't like saying that. But let me just try and fit myself into the shoes of someone who hasn't had a life like that. Maybe let's just say age range of 13 to say 20. I'm feeling bored.
Yeah.
I want some entertainment in my life.
Yeah.
So I'll go out and start doing this. Because I'm so bored with how my life is now. All right, I'm going madrasa in the evening. I'm trying to be a good Muslim. But at the same time, there's more. I want my life to have some energy in it.
Yeah.
So naturally then what will happen is shaitan will start working.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go out now and let me make a few friends. So
Yeah,
I go out and I see a few friends. They say it's always the elders of the community that will quote unquote groom these people into these lives of drug dealing. And then slowly you'll start seeing money coming in. I'm 18 years old. Oh, I'm making $2,000 a week, for example. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm going and beefing. So the same guy that I'm hanging around with, I don't realize that I'm on his religion.
Yes.
Right? Because the Messenger of Allah says, Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi, that a person is upon the religion of his own friend. So one should look towards who he befriends. I've started making all this money. And now I'm living in, and this happens, Isa, where we have in our communities, unfortunately, families, parents that are aware of so much money coming in. But they turn a blind eye to it. They're like, money's coming in. That's it. It doesn't matter, okay, my son's doing this. Whatever he can be doing, money's coming in because we need the money. So why shall I then leave this life?
Do you know, look, this is the thing.
Because I'm being entertained towards this now.
But
and these are my boys. These are my boys.
But you just said it. I'm being entertained to this now.
I'm feeling entertained.
Sometimes the issue is this. You was at home, you're bored. One of the problems is our community, us as parents, uncles, aunties. If we're always...
And there's not one community we're talking about. So just because I'm South Asian, I'm not talking about
No, we're talking about Muslim community in general.
In general,
Because
these are real issues.
So there's a few different things that I'll isolate from what you said.
Because sorry, just one more point. The reason why I'm saying this now is when I've had conversations with young ones, they say that this is what I enjoy doing.
Yes, but this is the point. They enjoy.
I want to become the biggest kingpin. I want to become the biggest gangster within my community. These are my boys. He's my boy. You do this to him. We're gonna go and deal.
But how do you learn? How do you learn what you enjoy? This is the thing. Look,
that's what I want to ask you.
This is the thing.
How do you think that thought process? Where does it come from?
The first point I'm gonna make is us as uncles, aunties, fathers, mothers, and it's particularly in the Islamic community. Going back to what we said about trolling and jumping on people for what they do. If there was no one making any alternatives for our kids, and they're at home bored. If they've got alternatives, let's just say even the kid himself, he wants to be a content creator, but his mother and father are like, oh, why are you on this trying to content on the YouTube? Or why he could be trying to do something positive. Maybe he's even trying to do something to bring people to Deen, you don't know. And you're going to step all over him and say, oh, you're supposed to be a lawyer or a doctor because you care more about what people think when they look at you and your family rather than what your kids really into. How many people we know are harvest because the family want them to learn to be a harvest to look in a way in the community more so than actually learning the Quran.
Those who were forced to do it.
So if we're not creating platforms where our kids can express themselves in a way that they want to, they're going to get bored. It doesn't have to always be the way we think that they need to. We're older generation. We might think that this is okay, that's okay. You might want him to be a doctor or a lawyer, but that might not be what Allah made him for. Allah might have made him have a personality that prefers and likes certain aspects. So if you're when he is trying to do positive things in another way, but you don't understand them, like now the generation, I'm going to use content creation because this is what a lot of the generation are into right now. So, and you're why are you on that computer all the time? Or why are you making these videos? Or why are you watch the content. If the content's good and he's on the right path, encourage him or her. Why are you taking them away for that and telling them they can't do nothing? Sit there, I need you to read Quran for 6 hours. A lot of kids ain't going to do it. You want to say, read Quran 15 minutes, half an hour, and then you can entertain yourself, whatever, set them up, not for failure. Because when you do this, now this kid has no alternative that to go out and look for something else to do. And the devil makes, what would they say? The devil makes work for idle hands. If you're making this child not do what he wants to do and he's bored, he's going to find other ways.
An idle mind is a devil's workshop.
There you go. And then the other side of it is some people, yeah, you need money or whatever, and you're letting your child go out and make this money in a haram way. Sometimes they just do it because it's not just about needing the money. If nobody knows they're doing it and the community don't care, some of these parents are happy to just let it happen.
Yeah.
Because they're more worried about what the community... Bro, Allah watches us every day. Don't care about what your community's thinking. Care about what Allah would say about this situation, yeah? Both of these actions I've seen happen, but the most thing I see is that sometimes... Let me put it in another parable. I notice from someone who's owned dogs, yeah? And my daughter used to work with horses and stuff. Yeah? Humans... They will tell their dogs, like my dogs will eat plants and stuff because it knows Allah's put something in them that knows what to eat to look after themselves. Some people say, don't eat that, and controlling everything they're doing, not realizing this dog knows how to heal itself. We're forcing our way upon them, yeah? Same with horses. You can't eat that, move them in this place, put them in this, and they're not able to freely go and do what they would do to survive. And then we're putting all these medications in them that they never needed before because there's a certain animal that they could eat or grass they could eat that would have healed them of that thing. We're forcing them to do these things. We do the same with our kids now these days.
Yeah.
We force them to think exactly like we think. But I don't think that kids are always here just for us to teach. I think sometimes Allah sends our kids here to also teach us. We may guide them, but there's lessons that we're going to learn from our kids and grow as people. But sometimes my kids have told me things that I didn't even know, you know, and I could tell it's Allah showing this kid as a slave to talk to me like in this way. If we can support them more in the things they want to do, just check them out, see if they're positive.
And these are practical solutions.
Practical solutions.
Because a lot of, and just to sum this up in the last few, just before we wrap all this up, I think investing time in our children is very important because a lot of young ones nowadays, a lot of us, we genuinely do not have any sense of purpose as well. What do I want to become? I don't know. I've had a lot of these conversations where I don't know where my life's going to be. So one practical solution is to actually build a positive relationship with our children and sit down and work with them. The problem is we don't have time nowadays either, and that's a discussion for another day as to why we don't have time and how we can make time. Because a lot of parents do struggle with that. How do I make time for my children? You know? So I think you're 100% right. So that's one solution that you said, create support systems. And now this is the job of the parents. Because a lot of the times they expect the mosque to do everything, and they expect the imam to babysit their children as well. I've also felt that. They say mosques aren't doing anything. The imams nowadays aren't doing anything. The question is, what are you doing as a parent?
That's true.
Am I supposed to bring your child up? Or is the mosque supposed to bring your child up? Because as far as I know, a lot of mosques in a lot of communities, they have programs going on. But then still we have a huge gap of young ones who just
100%
want to attend.
But also to switch it around on the other side as well, don't get it twisted. We know parents that sometimes, no matter how hard you've tried with your kids, they're still going to go down a bad route.
100%.
Allah made us all different. We all have different personalities. You have 3 kids in your house, you can teach them all exactly the same and they could go on different paths. So don't also be hard on yourself if you know you have put full effort in and you're doing the best you can for these kids and they're still turning out that way. There was things in their personality that was always going to take them that way, characteristics that Allah had gave them. But you need to, if you can help them, just to finish up on this type of point, like I gone back around, it's like it just came to me. I made a video for my wife, and in that video of my wife, I was very much trying to target men who had grown up like myself, who, and not just me, other young men who don't know how to be a man and how to treat their wife and how to treat their woman, right? And they're used to watching these TV programs or these songs where people are calling them bees and hoes and people are mistreating them and doing a whole lot of stuff like that, I'm trying to show you as a big, strong man who has lived this in this life that I still respect, love and treat my wife with respect. So now when a youth watches that, he might see, well, okay, Harb Salam lived this in this life and people looked at him like he was this and but look how he treats his wife. So I don't have to copy what I saw in this film or this thing where I'm manhandling my wife or treating her in a certain disrespectful way or, you know, talking down to her or whatever. But now if you somehow have stopped your kids from, you know, or even you're one of these trolls that have trolled this Muslim and then he's not producing that work, and now your kid only can go and watch this work, or you keep shouting at him for things he's trying to do, and now he can only go and watch this bad work. Do you know what I'm saying? He's just going to take him, what's on the TV or what's on the songs, it's all going to be negative. It's going to fill him with only negativity, and then he has no other choice but to follow him, what he's seeing, what he's watching, what he's doing. So we have to just be way more aware as parents. We need to also be way more aware as Muslims. Encourage your community. If you see Muslims doing things, they might be new, this content creating and this, this stuff might be new to us, but watch it, really see if you think there's badness in it. If there's not badness in it, don't attack it. Don't bring down, don't push our Muslim brothers and sisters, whether reverts or born Muslim brothers and sisters, away from what they're doing if it could 100%. Be good. And don't do it to your kids. Just take time to watch it. It might seem strange to you first place. What's he doing? He's creating this video and he's talking about this. It seems odd. Sit down and just analyze. Just be into it with him. Watch that thing and see where he's going with it. If you think it's slightly going a bit left, a bit wrong, say, I really like what you're doing. Can you do it a bit more like this? Just mention a bit more of Islamic things, or do it more steered to this way. But I think what you're doing is great, rather than just attacking them, crushing it, and then they end up being, like you say, a child that's bored, goes and finds other parents that are going to bring him up, which is the elders in the area that are living a bad life. Do you know what I'm saying? Give them a different choice.
100%.
So another point that I wanted to make is that, look, listen, from my own experiences, I've been in situations where I was making lots of money doing haram things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I remember because obviously before I was Muslim, I used to be Christian. Yeah. And there was a thing that I always used to read as when I was younger, and it used to say bad money. So basically haram money, it's like it grows wings and flies away. And bro, I can't tell you how true this is. And I want to say this more to the youth that are thinking about getting into these kind of lifestyles and stuff. Is that I've bought loads of things and had loads of money at short periods where I was doing haram and wrong things. Allah does not make that money have any length, bro. There's no barakah on it whatsoever. The only way you can keep up with that money is to keep doing the bad that you're doing, and you will constantly be in issues. You buy a brand new car, bro, I guarantee you that car will break down or something will go wrong with it. Or if you have this is if you're good and Allah wants you to come back to good. The bad people, He probably leaves them to just be bad, innit? But then you're going hellfire. Forget about that. The ones who have good hearts, I watch people still that I know from my ends who are good-hearted people, and they're still doing bad things. They're trapping, they're selling drugs, or they're doing this, doing that. All they have every day is problem after problem. They buy something fresh, that breaks after a couple of weeks. They buy this. It's like the things keep going wrong, and then the devil uses that to keep saying, look, that broke. You gotta hustle more, bro. You gotta sell more of this. You gotta do more of this to keep that cycle going. And it's like a trap that you can never get out of. But real money, bro. When you make real money, when I make things halal, and this is something
you've gone through.
This is pure from experience. This is not. I'm not just talking. This is pure experience. I've had time, bro. Right now, I've got more outgoings than I have incomings. But what I make is halal. I don't know how Allah does it, but Allah keeps me more than afloat. And I can't work out, like, how am I afloat? I'm not making as much money as I'm needing, but Allah is always providing for me. Anytime I need and I believe it, He provides for me. When I did anything haram, when I was younger to make money and stuff, bro, it was continuous problem after problem. I needed more money all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Man could be making like £250,000 a year and still felt more like struggle than I feel now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's constant barragement of things going wrong because you're not living right. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not worth it. On top of that, you're only attracting people, satanic people towards you. So you're attracting more violence towards you. I've been in situations where people have done something wrong to me, and because of my temper, I'm about to harm these people over money or bad haram things, whatever it could be, drugs, this, that, other. I've seen people about to harm people because of that, and you're about to sin, because of something corruptive you was doing already. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so why would you put yourself in that situation? Oh, he owes me money because, I sold him these drugs, and now he sold me the drugs, and like a big, like let's say like he sold me a 9-bar, and it's all messed up, and now I've lost money. Now I've got to go and kill him because he's robbed me. Do you know what I'm saying? And all this is over money, really. This is over drugs and money.
Yeah.
Like, why would you put yourself in that situation? And then that money you get, it doesn't even last anyway.
Yeah.
And you're going to keep having people trying to steal from you and rob from you because you've put yourself in an evil situation.
Yeah.
And this is pure experience, bro. All I've ever seen is your life is doing this continuously. There's no,
And it'll always be like
and it will always be like
Yeah.
that. I know people that are 50 years old and they're still in the life,
Yeah.
bro, and they're still like this. They're no further along in life than they
Yeah.
was when they was 20 to when they're 50.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I would say to our youth of today, there's nothing of beneficial to it. It looks good to sell on videos and films to excite people. It's good for that purpose if you want to excite people fakely on films, but actually living it, bro, there's no benefit. There's no benefit to your health. There's no benefit to your mental state. There's no benefit to your pocket. You can make as much as you want. That will not stay with you. That money will not stay with you, bro. And the only people I've seen that money stay with them for a certain length of distance is people, I can't say for sure, but I would think 100% are going to hellfire.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the people who have good hearts, Allah always makes it difficult for them because he's trying to purify them and help them along the way. It's not worth it.
As long as a person repents to Allah then and tries to make practical changes
Yeah.
to his life,
Yeah.
the doors of repentance are always open.
Yes,
Allah says,
100%.
except for shirk, Allah will forgive anything and everything that you
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But we have to be willing. We have to be willing to be the change we want to see
100%
in our lives.
And it's that dying on shirk, yeah? So that's dying on shirk, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like if you're, because look, how many
Yeah.
people have come from religions where they're committing shirk, but then they took shahada.
No. This is a person who dies upon Tawheed and upon monotheism.
Yeah.
You know? So So inshallah, any opinions, any comments, any your expressions of what you have thought of what we've discussed today, like, share, subscribe. Let us know if there's anything else that you want us to speak about, inshallah, and we'll call it a wrap for today, inshallah. Jazakallah once again, Isa. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, take care, guys, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu rahmatullah.